Hello and welcome to another amazing, exciting, spectacular edition of Top Hat. How do you do that?
What, to build hype and hyperbole?
Yeah, it makes me feel like an idiot.
It is, but let's be honest, YouTube content is a bit idiotic.
I try. I'm not doing that again.
It's very low brow.
I'm not doing it again. That felt awful.
At least we're not American, because if I was an American, I'd have to say this. Hey guys, what's going on? No, that's not what they say. What did they say?
I don't know.
Something along those lines, and they all say it. What's going on, guys? I can't even say what they say, but it doesn't make sense.
No.
They ask the question as a greeting, and this question is never answered by the viewership, but they say it every time. I think it's, hey, what's up? What's going on, guys? Something along those lines. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever because it's a question.
Yeah.
And no one ever responds to this question in the comments, yet they say it every single time. Someone explain to me what the hell that's all about.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I'm never doing that again.
Okay,
is what I'm trying to say. That was
good,
awful.
Good. I will.
I'll do intros, just not like that.
Okay, I will handle the hyperbole going forward.
Thank you.
Anyway, today we shall be discussing something moderately interesting, and that is our earliest memories with the Super Mario franchise. And yes, I did say Super Mario and not Super Mario.
Good.
Yes, Super Mario, the proper Italian way to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Not the butchered Mario way.
Yeah. No, it feels
Bit
awful.
rather odd, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not nice.
Very strange.
Anyway, yeah, first memories. Do you want to go first? Because yours probably would be earlier than mine, I would assume.
Okay, perhaps. I would say, I can't remember exactly when I first came across the Mario franchise, but it definitely wasn't through playing games. It was through the awful cartoon series they used to show. Do you remember that at all?
I do remember that, yeah.
Where it was like, hey guys, I'm Super Mario. I'm from Brooklyn. Do you
I don't remember him being from Brooklyn. Like,
no, that's literally how he used to talk in
this. No, I don't remember that kind of accent.
No, honestly, that's how it was.
Oh my god, I need to rewatch this.
Yeah, I'm Super Mario. I'm kind of from Coffee. That's exactly how it was.
Not Bob Hoskins then.
No, it wasn't Bob Hoskins. This was pre-Bob Hoskins Mario.
Okay, yeah, no, that
So you can understand watching something like this why I wouldn't have had any interest in Mario. That's how it was being portrayed to me.
Yeah. And you were wrong.
I was very wrong.
To not have any interest
because
in Mario.
my uncle bought a Super Nintendo, and then I played lots of games on it, including Super Mario World, and I was bloody hooked.
Yeah.
I was hooked.
So your first experience was the Super Nintendo?
No, it was with the awful cartoon.
No, I mean like gaming-wise.
With Mario, yes, not with gaming. With Mario.
Yeah, I think that was
obviously I had microcomputers, the Amstrad. But yes, Mario World, that was my first experience. And then my next experience after that is I said, Mother, can I have a Super Nintendo? And yes, she got them for Christmas a few months later. But before Christmas that year, I believe it was 1993, she got me a original Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah.
And on that, I had Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario Brothers 2 come with it. So I got to play those as well, and I really enjoyed those, despite looking like crap. I had a lot of fun with those games.
Yeah. No,
this was 1993, so they did look pretty bad by that time.
They would, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your first experience. We'll start off there. We'll go from mine. Mine was when I was quite young. I was probably about 3-ish, maybe 4. My dad had a Super Nintendo.
This would have been at the same time, I guess.
Yeah, it probably would have been, which is interesting, I suppose. And with that, he got Super Mario All-Stars. And I got to play...
This would have been a little bit after, because when I got my Super Nintendo for Christmas, I got Mario All-Stars with it, and I believe Mario All-Stars came out the same December I got the Super Nintendo.
Which would have been...
which means I would have experienced it first. I believe Super Mario All-Stars came out at the end of 1993.
Yeah, so
you would have played it a little bit after.
Probably 94 then.
Yeah.
So I got it. I know I got it quite.
So I probably
early.
played it about a year before you did for the first time.
Yeah. I absolutely fell in love with it. I was probably about 4 at the time. So yeah, not brilliant for me because my little hands wouldn't quite grasp the complex mechanics.
To be fair, I'm thinking back. Actually, maybe I played it quite. Maybe it was more than a few months I waited for to get my own Super Nintendo, because before before I got Mario All-Stars, I played Mario Brothers 3 as well. And do you know how I played Mario Brothers 3?
Go on.
You used to, in my one of my local pubs in London, it was called the Apples and Pears. I used to go there every week with my parents, and I used to play, I think it was, I could be wrong, but it was one of those Nintendo Player's Choice arcade cabinets.
I almost bought one of those.
They had one of those in the pub, and it had loads of Nintendo Entertainment System games on it, and one of them was Mario 3, and I always used to put my 20p pieces in it, and used to play Mario 3 in the pub.
Amazing.
So yes.
Yeah, no, I almost bought one of those a little while ago, and they don't sell for that much.
They don't look? It's quite surprising.
No, I saw one, it had a pretty decent set of games on it for about 500, working.
I don't know for sure
400.
though whether this device I was playing on was an actual player's choice. Maybe there was other devices that played multiple Nintendo games, but it sounds like it probably was a player's choice machine, doesn't it?
Yeah, they look brilliant.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, All Stars was my first, so I got to play a bit of everything.
Can I say I was really disappointed with Mario All Stars when it came out? I was so angry.
I loved it. See, I loved it because...
Can you guess why I was angry about Mario All-Stars when I got it for Christmas?
Yeah, but I'm telling my story first.
Okay, you tell your story, then I'll tell everyone why I was angry. And I've probably heard your story anyway, because I do repeat myself sometimes. But go!
Sometimes. Constantly. Anyway, so had a ridiculous amount of games on it, which is why I loved it. I could literally flick between, and because, I was 4-ish, so I had zero attention span. So it was just, there's a game here, right, bang. I'm bored of this, I lost too many lives, I'm going to go to a different one, and then another one, and I do exactly the same thing over and over and over again, just flicking through, like, how many games on that? Four? Yeah, just flicking through 4 different games. There's nothing wrong with that, is there?
No, that's great. But this is why I was disappointed.
I know this story.
You already know this story.
Yeah, can I tell the story?
You can try, and then I'll tell you if it's right or wrong.
Okay.
Go!
Okay, I think that you were probably really disappointed because basically it was filled with ports.
Yes! And I've never seen that before. The same game's coming out twice. What was that all about? I was raging on Christmas Day. It was so annoying because I'd seen the adverts for this game on television with Rick Mao.
Yeah.
And it looked amazing. It looked like 4 fresh games with graphics I'd never seen before. But then I went to play the games. They were the games I'd played before, just with a new art style. But saying that, at least they did that back then. They wouldn't do that now with a game, would they? Not very often. They just release the same game.
It's essentially a remaster, isn't it?
In a way, but at least it was kind of well remastered. But I was annoyed. I'd played all of them, so really I just got the lost levels that day, and that was it.
Lost levels. And World, or did you get?
No, World was.
Did you already have that?
My uncle had World, and I got my own copy shortly after. But World wasn't part of Mario All Stars back then. There's 2 versions of Mario All Stars, and there's one bundled with World. But that's the one that came out much later, maybe like 95.
That's the one I've still got, I think.
Oh, okay.
I've still got that one. I had the original, and then I still have that one. Yeah, no, the games on it were amazing. Like I had no experience with the original NES.
I suppose at least it gave me a reason to throw my NES and the games in the bin. I literally did that. Because that's what it was for me. It was a Super Mario player. There was no other use for it. Yeah. It used to annoy the hell out of me because that annoying white flicker thing. So I just hated it. So my first NES ended up in the dustbin.
Yeah, no, I can really see that as being a thing, especially if you only really played it. Because I mean, you weren't a gaming connoisseur at that time.
Not back then. No, I was a child.
So you had no reason to play.
I didn't realise there was hundreds of games on it, and I didn't even know Zelda was on the original Nintendo. For me, Link to the Past was the first Zelda game.
Exactly.
I didn't even know there was, because that's how bad the original NES did in Europe.
Yeah.
I only got one off the back of finding out the Super Nintendo existed.
Yeah, and then you got it and were disappointed.
I was very disappointed, yeah. I was like, what's this? This isn't a Super Nintendo. This is some ugly, grey, useless box that barely functions. And I'm going to throw it in the bin, so I did.
Like the American Super Nintendo.
Oh, yeah,
ugly grey box.
Ugly grey box. 2 ugly grey boxes they got. At least we only got 1 ugly grey box and 1 moderately attractive ugly grey box. It doesn't make so much sense, does it?
No, it's a bit backwards and forwards. Yeah. But yeah, no, I can see your point. What else do we have to say about marriage? Should we move on from to next memories?
We can still do some more.
Have we got some more actual?
Yeah, I've got loads of early. My next Mario experience, I suppose, would have been with Mario Land on the Game Boy.
Yeah.
And this time, I wasn't interested in the Game Boy. I thought it was a really stupid piece of equipment when I first saw it as a child. It just looked so ugly to me. Like, why do I want to play a game on some tiny little green screen you can hardly see?
Yeah.
But when I played Mario Land, I was like, wow, this is actually good. It looks awful, but it plays amazingly. I really enjoyed it.
It's one of the best games on the system, I think. My personal opinion.
And then one of my friends brought Super Mario Land 2 into school, and I played that and really enjoyed that as well. But I did find it incredibly easy and incredibly short, so I was a bit annoyed with it in terms of that. But
it was good because, again, Mario's known for shaking up gameplay mechanics, even very slightly.
That was one of the great things about Mario back then. Apart from the bloody ports, every Mario game was different.
Yeah.
Like, they all looked different. And even the ports, they look different to the original version. So you got a new art style every single time. So it's not like nowadays where you get the same Mario game over and over again with different levels. Do you reckon they should do one that's like really good graphics? What do you mean?
So it almost looks like you're playing a film.
Yes, they should. They should make Mario the movie the game. That'd be brilliant. Starring Bob Hoskins.
Yeah, is he still alive?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. They do it in Star
If
Wars.
they can bring
don't they?
Tupac back,
Yeah, they brought other people back in films. They can start bringing people back to life in games. So,
holograms.
yes, bring Bob Hoskins back to life, please, Nintendo. I'd appreciate that.
You were serious, mate.
I was.
Oh god.
Very serious.
Moving
on.
Moving on. Next experiences.
Mario bloody 64.
Mario 64.
It blew my mind.
Amazing.
I couldn't believe it. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe what I was playing.
Yeah.
I felt the future was here that day, playing that for the first time.
It's an incredible game. It still holds up today, apart from the terrible camera angle.
I don't even think
The camera
angle's
was
too bad.
awful.
I think the controls
It is.
aren't quite as good as they felt back then, because if you play one of the modern 3D Mario games, controls feel really tight, where they feel a little bit slippery if you go play Mario
Yeah.
64 today.
But still,
overall, very, very good.
great game.
A
Absolutely
lot
brilliant.
better than all the other tripe that was on the market at the time, like Croc and Tomb Raider
Yeah.
and all the other games of the same genre.
Yeah, I skipped after this point a little bit playing Mario, so I'm gonna say like it blew my mind how good this game was. Like, it was perfect.
We never got another Mario game until Mario Sunshine.
I know, and that's where I kind of slipped off a little bit.
Me too.
Although it was lovely that it was refreshing, it was new, it had new mechanics.
But we didn't
It
need
stayed-
new mechanics. Not that new. Do you know how long we waited between Mario Sunshine and Mario 64? 7 years. So we've waited 7 years and I want a bloody water gun attached to my back.
Yeah, no,
That doesn't make sense.
it changed too much, and it's really annoying. 'Cause
It's one of those things we've moaned about on the channel loads of times. Sorry for cutting you off. It was Nintendo innovation for the sake of innovation. They do it all the time. They mess up games by putting in unnecessary mechanics just because basically they're pretentious assholes and think we know better than the general public.
yeah,
They do that all the time.
although you're going to contradict yourself in a little while when we get a bit later on in the timeline, but we'll stick to that, and I think that's pretty true in the grand scheme of
They've done it
things.
to Star Fox recently as well, haven't
Yeah,
they?
they have.
They do it to a lot of games.
Yeah, but Sunshine, I got it really early on, and I played it, and I hated it. But this is actually sometimes people's favourite Mario game.
Yes, but I'll tell you what sort of people's favourite Mario game it is. All of those idiotic millennials who had the unfortunateness of having the GameCube as their first ever console. They're the only sort of morons who will ever claim that Mario Sunshine is the best game. They're the sort of morons who would tell you the GameCube was the best games console that's ever made. It's just, that's when nostalgia blinds people. They're the only people who will tell you Mario Sunshine's brilliant.
Yeah, I don't think they're the only people.
They
but
are.
I think that you do have a case.
I hate
for your
them.
point.
Those dicks in their early 20s.
You're such a hard person.
I'm
to
jealous.
conversate with.
They're 8 years younger than me.
You done?
Yes, but are you jealous of youth? Do you want to vulture them and steal their youth?
No.
I would. If I could, I'd steal their youth.
Yeah, that's because you're really old.
Yes.
He's deceptively old.
At least I'm academic.
Yeah. 45 this year.
Nearly.
You're closer to 45 than I am.
I am closer to
That is
45
a
than you, yes.
fact. So yeah, Sunshine, it's got a really big fan base behind it, and
It
as soon
has.
as you say anything nasty about Super Mario Sunshine, people tend to shout at you and
it's
get
just-
very angry.
What with Mario Sunshine? I know, it's because the fan base of Mario Sunshine are still very young and immature. That's why.
It's because it's got a toxic fandom behind it,
It does have a toxic fandom.
which is linked into another video.
Because anyone who... most people over the GameCube periods, favourite systems was the PS2 or the original Xbox.
So next along,
Next along, I suppose we got... What would have been next? I suppose next would have been new Super Mario Brothers on the DS.
again, wonderful.
Yeah, very impressed.
Great
it was
game.
like, I thought that 2D Mario was gone forever.
Yeah,
2D everything had disappeared by this point.
yeah, great game, good mechanics, good power-ups.
I just want to point out, by the way, because it'll make people we skipped talking about Yoshi's Island and the Wario Land games because they're not Mario.
Doesn't
games.
count.
Doesn't count. So shut up, comment section, because someone will be saying that.
Yeah, they don't count. They're two different. Yeah, no. Yeah, so again,
New
great.
Super Mario Bros.
New Super Mario Brothers, amazing game, really, really
Yeah.
good. Dragged me back into Mario actually.
It's just a shame, isn't it, that it was so good that they decided to make about 10 games which is exactly the same. as
And
that.
this is what I was saying. Now you're saying, you said, yeah, stupid Nintendo, innovation for innovation's sake, and then there's like no innovation. You're like, Damn Nintendo for no innovation. It's like, see, I told you were going to contradict yourself. It's true, isn't it?
It is true, because we're talking two extremes here, aren't we?
Yeah.
So that's an extreme, like making 10 games. I'm probably exaggerating with 10, but it's a good 6 or something like that.
I can see your point, and your point is valid, but
Yeah.
people will pull you up on it.
And then we got Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2.
Again,
which are,
I didn't play these because of the systems that they were.
they're
the system they were on.
outrageously good. They're probably the best Mario games that's ever been made.
But I
Disgustingly
played later,
good. Okay.
and I agree. They are really, really good games.
Yes. And
Absolutely brilliant.
they've got great music, and I don't even like music.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Very well composed.
It feels
With actual orchestras.
It feels more like 64 again.
If it's epic, it's much better than 64.
Yeah, but I'm
Much
saying
better,
the
yeah.
feeling is good. You get that feeling of playing 64 again when you play Galaxy.
Yeah, because it feels new. It feels like the future.
Yeah.
It's like
great.
it's something that hadn't been done before. It was like 3D, but on planet, so it was more than 3D. I can't even explain what you'd call that.
Extra D.
Yeah, extra D.
Yeah.
It was an extra.
And we all
extra
know
D.
Top Hat Gaming Man loves the D.
Do I? I don't know that cultural reference, sadly, but I'm assuming it's probably homophobic.
It's not homophobic.
Are you calling me gay?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Is that homophobic?
No.
Okay. It's inclusive. We'll say that.
There we go.
Okay. So
We're-
next, I suppose we had Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U.
Okay, 3D World.
1 second, I've mentioned this before in his videos. We're having a lot of fun with this chat, and it's going on for quite a while. Unfortunately, we have a camera which was sold in the European Union, and basically there's a rule where you can't have a video camera and a photo camera as the same thing. It has to be identified as one thing or the other, and our one's actually a photo camera, so it will only shoot up to 20 minutes at a time. So due to that reason, I'm going to quickly cut, then shoot, and then we'll be able to carry on.
Okay, so what was next? Now we're back.
Yes, we are talking about new Super Mario. What was it called? Super Mario 3D World. That's the one.
3D World.
On the
Okay,
Wii
that's
U.
where we are. Okay, again, I skipped this one at the time because of the platform that it was on. I didn't own a Wii or a Wii U until recently.
Recently.
Exactly. And really, really solid game. It's actually one of your favourites.
I think it might be, other than Galaxy, it is my favourite 3D Mario game.
Yeah.
Love it.
I really enjoyed it. I didn't really see anything wrong with it.
Which actually, we skipped one thinking about it, if we're talking about that. We forgot about Super Mario 3D Land on the 3DS, which again is very, very good.
Yeah.
It's the same style game
Yeah,
as 3D
actually,
World,
I
just
played that as
smaller.
well. Yeah.
So it's more innovative than 3D World, but 3D World just took that concept to the next level.
Yeah, no, again, both really, really solid entries.
Yeah.
Some of your favourites.
And then I suppose we got Mario Maker, but which kind of just was
Mario Maker was an interesting game, and the fact that we're even talking about it, I thought you were going to skip it.
It was fun, but for
And
a couple of days. And
I
that
was
it.
going to let you skip it
What was
because
that?
I didn't think it would come up. I wasn't going to bring it up and go, you missed one. Like, if you would have gone over it, it would have fit in with Yoshi's Island for me.
Okay, really?
I wouldn't have minded the skip.
fair, yeah.
But we will talk about it, bearing in mind you brought it up. Mario Maker is an interesting game because it gives everybody the chance to be a game developer, which is amazing and awful.
Because everyone's a bad game developer.
Pretty much. You've got, hundreds of thousands, millions of people making levels for this all the time.
And all the levels are awful.
And you have less than 1% of them being decent, well-constructed levels.
So,
And that's a big issue.
yes, so there's no point ever playing that game. Ever.
Yeah. It's not too
It's
bad.
fun for 2 days.
Okay, I'll say about the community behind Mario Maker.
Are they toxic?
To try and no, not really. They're a very inclusive kind of group of people, and if you can go online and find the right forums and stuff like that, they can recommend specific level creators that are fantastic, and you can get probably 30, 40, 50 Mario games out of Mario Maker if you know where to look.
So if you're a bit of an anorak, you can have a lot more fun with Mario Maker, that's what you're saying.
If you put more, I think that if you went back to it and spent more time with it, and I threw a few level creators your way to start you off, I think you could enjoy it.
Maybe. Okay. So maybe I've played Mario Maker a bit wrong.
Yes,
But
but you shouldn't have to play it wrong.
True.
But I think we're going a little bit too off topic.
Yeah, and I have a final game on this list, because this is where the Mario adventure games ends. Mario Odyssey. What did you think of Odyssey?
Odyssey. I absolutely loved Odyssey
Really?
for about an hour.
Yeah, I didn't like it either.
It was, right, 3D Mario game. Starts off alright, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
It
They
starts
look
off
very
fine.
impressive, yeah.
You're like jumping around, finding moons. Brilliant. Looks lovely. Controls well. And then all of a sudden you realise that there is absolutely zero achievement in anything that you do.
Yes, because you're finding something every couple of minutes. Yeah. So therefore you're not getting the dopamine release from finding anything, because you're finding things so frequently that dopamine is completely gone. You're not getting any dopamine fix from anything you're finding.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you...
So you're not getting the same satisfaction you're finding from a star in one of the older games.
Yeah, if you pumped a serious amount of hours into it, I don't know how long it would take, and got all of them, then maybe that dopamine release would come out all in one hit.
It's as if Nintendo did to those moons in Mario Odyssey what the Germans did to their economy before Adolf Hitler. Would you agree with that?
What, they just flooded it with money?
Yeah,
made money
exactly. They made it worthless. Yeah, that's what it feels like they did with the moons in Mario Odyssey.
I think a lot of people half expected me not to get the reference and try and pretend to get the reference.
Okay.
And I did get it. Ha! There we go. Yeah, so Odyssey again, it's made me want a decent Mario game.
It does.
I thought Odyssey was going to be the one.
Yeah, it's like I want them to make Super Mario great again, because it's been quite a while now since I've got one I like.
I'm so glad that you picked up on what I was trying to feed you into.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there has been, over the period of time that we're talking about, there has been some absolutely amazing Mario games.
There has.
And everybody knows about a lot of these already.
Yes.
But now you get to hear our opinions of it.
Yes, which are a bit different, because there's a lot of idiots who love Mario Odyssey.
Again, Odyssey's a great game.
This is the thing, yeah. It's got like 10 out of 10 reviews on pretty much everything. And do you know why I think it's got that such a high score?
God, I'm interested.
Apart from the fact that it's Super Mario, so it's really easy to give it a 10 out of 10, the same as what they do with Zelda. I think partially it's because game reviewers don't complete games. Because they've got such a big workload. They only put a couple of hours into it. And Super Mario Odyssey is great for a couple of hours, but if you want to play it for a longer duration, it's awful.
Yeah.
That's my experience.
No, I completely agree. 100% agree. So, we want to know what your experiences are with the Mario games. Did we get anything completely wrong? And maybe, what game did you hate?
I hate people who love Mario Sunshine.
Okay, is Sunshine the best game on the planet and we're completely wrong? Or did we hit the nail on the head? And
but anyway, yes, I think we probably did hit the nail on the head. So let us know in the comments section. Yeah. Thank you for joining us on this Mario Odyssey. Cheerio.